The minute you are seeing yourself as a victim, you've given up your power. You've agreed to the aforementioned imprisonment of your consciousness, the enslavement of your consciousness. And the only way through this, guys, is through this. Yeah. And what it is that we are being confronted with here is basically how we have been externalizing our power to make changes. Welcome back. Let's jump straight into the energy talk and energy update for week 1 of the new year 2022. The first week happens exactly to line up with the Saturday to Friday dating. So it's for the 1st till the 6th of January 2022, the chaos of new. If you've just participated in the discussion for 2022 and 23 here, there's another forecast video on YouTube already where I talk about collective energies. You will already have gotten an idea of how I will suggest to you to contextualize this chaos of new. So the first week here is, according to plan, I want to say, is coming in with a bang, okay? And we kind of all know now, we couldn't see this 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, yeah, but now we do, why that is. Omicron is raging through us like a wildfire. Guys, do not be afraid of this. Do not go into panic, okay? We will all get Omicron, and it is not as bad as you think. It is a normal cold, basically, with the exception of some people who have a predisposition and a compromised immune system, where it will, of course, still trigger some of the similar responses, that this COVID variant does, namely the overreaction of the immune system and the inflammation, basically, of the endothelium. So, these things happen, and, as time goes on, this is now nearly going on for 2 years, we'll have more and more treatments, and you will see this in January altogether. There's a lot of reason for hope. There's a lot of reason for understanding that we just simply have to learn to live with COVID, and it will turn out to be just another coronavirus. Yeah? Coronavirus has been around for, from what I know, over 100,000 years. So it's part of our human environment. It's part of something that we live with. Okay, yeah, we get a cold 1 or 2 or 3 times a year, and that's it. Okay, so no reason to worry. Most of you, if not all of you, will get through this without even realizing that you've had it. Okay, but politically and obviously collectively, it's the ultimate confrontation with fear now. Yeah, the good news about this is, once we're through with this, and this will already be by the end of January, okay, everybody will take a deep breather, look around, and realize life goes on. Okay, this whole craziness about mandates, about vaccinations, about who's to blame, and blah, 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 all that will slowly go away. It will move into the background because something else is coming into the foreground. And that something else is now emerging, guys. This has to do with money. This has to do with our financial systems. So unaware to most of us, there are obviously structures that govern, the money flow and also the resource flow, but especially the money flow here in this world. And there have been changes in the last week that nobody's really aware of, but it really has shifted into a new technology. And if you have been listening to me for a while, you know what this technology is. This technology is called blockchain technology. So the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, as keywords are sort of the outer layer of that. But there was so much more. It's just like when you look at the internet. The internet it was, just basically the connection of hundreds of millions of computers in the world, okay, and creating a new sort of entity, yeah, that allowed for information to be stored differently. And that's how abstract blockchain is really. It's organizing that in a new way, in a triple way. Yeah, before we only had sort of a two-way street. Now we have a three-way street. Anyway, all that is leading to major transformation pains here in our financial markets, guys. So the chaos of new will now percolate to the surface here in this first week of January. And as January progresses, I've already talked about this in the forecast for January, things will drastically shift. So this is a very fast moving month on the outside, but on the inside, we will begin to relax a little more. And the reason why this will feel more calm from the inside, and why, we are basically, starting to become a little more resilient, is because we are finally at this point where we can no longer resist this confrontation with untruth. We have to do it. We have to work with it. We have to step into it. We have to make conscious choices. We have to prioritize. We have to determine what our true needs, our true wants, what our passion is, what our love is, what our desire is. Yeah? So we cannot hang out in that victimized place no longer, guys. When you victimize yourself, this is very important, you go into passivity and you're basically nullifying all your efforts to step into your higher awareness, into your inner power. The minute you are seeing yourself as a victim, you've given up your power. You've agreed to the aforementioned imprisonment of your consciousness, the enslavement of your consciousness. And the only way through this, guys, is through this. Yeah. And what it is that we are being confronted with here is basically how we have been externalizing our power to make changes. And so this first week in January, guys, a wonderful opportunity for you to step into a more clear outlook on your future. Yeah, all of you out there, those of you who are in regular coaching sessions with me, you already know this. Do a vision board, guys, and don't do a dreamy, idealized, would be nice kind of vision board. No, do one that captures who you truly are, how you truly want to feel. Yeah, maybe for the next year, but even bigger than that, how you want to conduct this life, whom you want to experience this life as. That's the foundation for conscious manifestation. You need to know what your true nature is. All of you in the energy business training know exactly what I'm talking about. Because out of that then, you recognize your true talents, your true gifts, your true skills. And stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Because if you're trying to be somebody that you're not, what you're really doing is looking at yourself from the outside and you seeing yourself through the eyes of others. And what needs to be shifted is you looking at yourself from the inside out. You need to see yourself through, well, if you will, the eyes of your own soul, or your true self, your higher self. And then you know what you need to do. So it's that stepping out of that externalized power into your internalized power. And the biggest issue here for most of you is that you're not trusting yourself. And why are you not trusting yourself? Because you have been experiencing yourself over and over again, violating your own truth, violating your own integrity, not listening to your inner guidance. Instead, you've listened to others, or family values, or what the neighbors think, or what your critical inner voice whispers into your ears out of fear, out of the fear of rejection, the fear of not being validated, of not being seen, or whatever. You're gonna have to recognize that that is the imprisonment, guys. That is how your consciousness is being hijacked. All right, and if you don't do anything about it, it will continue to be that way, which means that your power lies outside of you, that you're not going to be able to internalize your power, and that means that you are enslaved. That's what that means. Enslavement means that you're not in power. So my tip for you, as always, is, of course, to step into your power. All right, what's holding you back? What do you have to lose? Right? It's about facing the fear of the unknown. And I said this so nonchalantly about Corona, like stepping into it, I'm not saying that you should go to Omicron parties, but, face that fear. Stop having that fear. You don't have to be dumb, all right? And have improper boundaries and take risks. No. Step into your self-health authority. Yeah? Start healing things from within. Strengthen your immune system. Do the things that I've been recommending for 2 years now. Yeah, vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, chaga tea, and some other antiviral agents that you can just integrate in your daily life as a habit, okay, to form something like power immunity. Yeah, to strengthen yourself from within. I've been talking about this for 15 years now, guys. Self-health authority is something that we will all need to step into. Yeah, and when I call it sacred self-healing, really all I'm saying is that you have the power to heal yourself. Self-healing powers are the most powerful powers of healing. Nothing is more powerful than that. That's why my teachings are all around self-healing. Yeah, that's my energy sessions aren't like me putting my hands on you and doing some mystical stuff and you're healed. No, my energy healings are allowing you to experience your inner self-healing powers from within yourself. Yeah, this higher learning that I offer. In 20 years from now, that's going to be standard. Okay, it's brand new technology. So if you would like to know more about that, check out the energy course that's coming up here in only a week from now. January 8th, the first interaction day is January 15th. It's an online course with energy sessions. Yeah, totally new way of learning. Check this out. There's one more day of Sacred Self-Healing discount on that. Or step into the next level of that with the Love Integrity course that starts on January 19th, where we bring this onto the relationship level. How to build a foundation for a relationship that's based on truth. How do I do this as individual or as partners? So it's a course that goes over 3 months where we teach how we need to change the way of social interacting with another when we are standing in a higher awareness. Because many of you have already figured this out. Once you are in a higher awareness, it's a lot harder to find people to socialize with. It's a lot harder to find people that you feel like you belong to. Yeah, it's a lot harder to find your tribe because most people out there, 85%, are still in that prison, in that sort of social media hell that they're not even aware of. Yeah, so you need to understand that this stepping into a higher awareness, increasing your level of consciousness, that requires you to make practical changes in life in regards to everything, the way you live, the way you eat, the people that you choose to interact with, the way you make money, where you work, how you work, where you live, how you live. Yeah, and these things now need to come into 3D. You need to start walking the talk. That's what 2022 is all about. And this first week, guys, is a beautiful week to clarify this, to bring this clarification. What have I learned here in these last years? What are my takeaways from these nearly 2 years of disruptive energies? Yeah, what do I need to correct? What do I need to realign myself to? What is truly essential? What do I truly need? What are my preferences and what are my priorities? Yeah. So these are all basically these new values that I've spoken about in the forecast for January 22, and you have to step into this now. And this first week will bring a beautiful and unexpected support. So you will feel this first week, or experience this first week, as calmer, yeah, after this sort of electrified energy here of the last 2 weeks of December. And perhaps you'll be very tired too, yeah? And that's just you basically realigning yourself. Use this time to go into deeper self-reflection. We just come out of a fantastic marathon here in transCODES. We have these public sessions going on every week where we train a specific aspect of consciousness work, and we've trained how to stand in the 7 mirrors of truth with ourselves. So basically the art of self-reflection. And I will post this with the email here for this recording so that you can practice that yourself. Now take this week maybe to stand in the 7 mirrors of truth with yourself so that you can learn what you truly need, what you truly want, based on who you truly are now. Yeah, these new values are more truth, more love, and more freedom. The most fundamental energies of creation. Nothing special, nothing out there. And all you need to do is now to decide, to choose how you want to bring this into your practical life, how you want to embody this. So if you need support with this, obviously as a healer, as a coach and energy therapist, that is what I do for a living. You can send me an email. We can do a free initial consultation. If you would like to lurk around the edges here and just participate in all these free things that I offer here through the Sacred Self-Healing Community on Skype or on YouTube, on SoundCloud, then sign up for my newsletter. You'll get the links for all these resources and downloads for monthly energy alignments and so forth, where you can practice this on your own. And if you want to systematically learn this, well, then check out my programs and courses, because they offer this step by step. Some of them are pure online courses, some of them are with energy sessions, and some of them are with live trainings and so forth. It's all based on interaction and based on connection, because this is where we all need to go. More truth, more love, and more freedom. And that requires us to change some things in life. Okay. One last tip that I want to give to you, because that's a question that I have been coming across here multiple times, and there's a bunch of videos that I have made explaining this in detail, but I want to give you just a really quick tip on how to get out of your head. All right. Obviously, conscious breathing and anchoring into your body, grounding and centering, and all those fundamentals of mindfulness obviously play sort of an instrumental role in this. But really what it is that you need to understand that you have the power to observe your thoughts, and that power comes through your consciousness. So your consciousness is the part in you that can witness your thoughts. Get that? That's also the proof that you have a consciousness, by the way. And when you step into that consciousness, yeah, and you need to train this a little bit, you have to report this back to you, what your thoughts are. Yeah, that's the consciousness training. You can begin to actually pinpoint your thoughts. And if you want to get out of your head because you're ruminating too much, you can't fall asleep at night or whatever, my tip for you is pinpoint those thoughts. Literally take them with your hands and pull them out. Harry Potter fans among you, they know that there is something about the wand, okay, that Dumbledore does to extract certain thoughts. It doesn't matter how you visualize it, it works. And the reason why this works is because it requires you to step into your consciousness, and consciousness is a higher pay grade than your ego mind. Higher pay grade meaning it has more power. Okay, you can extract these things. You can use tools such as feathers. I have a bunch of feathers always around me here that I use to support myself with this. You can use, your hands in the energy prayers I showed you, how to increase the energy between your hands, and use this as a clearing energy for your mind. You can also use exercises, physical exercises, especially the first chakra exercises that help you to ground. They help you to get out of your head and so forth. Yeah, so yes, there are a lot of different techniques. I appreciate you sending all these links for other practitioners and other techniques out there. It's all pretty simple, guys. You got to understand what you're doing. It doesn't matter how you get there. Whatever works. Theta waves, yes. Every single MP3 that I have has theta waves in there for over 15 years, guys. Theta wave is a frequency that your brain can go into where this deeper consciousness learning occurs. That's why all my music has a theta metronome. Yes, it's easier to step into your deeper consciousness that way. Correct. So that's why, especially the energy course and the love integrity course, those are courses that have to do with Theta-Learning, because, and the Sacred Self-Healing course as well, because it's all based on you actively stepping into higher levels of consciousness and knowing how to do this, how to reproduce this, not just by coincidence. One last thing that I want to share with you is something that I have done at my school. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, this is a worksheet. I'll send this with the email, so you need to be in my email list to get that. It's let's make this new year great. And it's 4 things, actually, that I asked the kids to do. I want them to list 2 things they want to get better at, 2 things that they want to do less of, 2 new things they want to try or experiment, and 2 things they want to learn to get better at, to master. Okay? So 2 things you want to get better at, 2 things you want to do less of, 2 new things you want to experiment with, and 2 things you really want to learn. Okay, that's as good as it gets for simplicity, guys. I love you all. I gotta go now. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful new year. Happy New Year to Australia and New Zealand and Asia. All right, here in Florida, we have 12 more hours to go. All right, so yes, Europe is next. Love this new year because it's going to bring a lot of opportunities for you to grow. Take it full frontal. No fear. Bye-bye.